Hey, what's up everyone? JayzTwoCents here, and I want to put out a video clarifying some things I think need to be clarified regarding the video Steve just put up yesterday regarding the EK water blocks fall from grace, if you will. And this video was superbly done. I don't know how to even describe the level of detail that Steve must have gone through to get this done. I really felt like I was watching like a Vice News documentary. It was actually very well done. But this one was really more or less about paper trails and following the money and trying to understand where a $250 million company basically gets into default on every single loan they could possibly have, all the way down to an $8,000 tax bill in Texas, which is absolutely crazy that $8 grand is all it took to put that LLC or EK Cooling Solutions in Texas basically defunct and default with the state. Anyway, moving on. There was a portion of that video where he talked about our deal, and I've been very open and transparent about that. I mentioned it was a six-figure deal, but I want to kind of clarify how that went down because of the fact that it didn't go down exactly as sort of described in that video, but that's not Steve's fault. I don't know where he actually got the information regarding that, but I just wanted to sort of clarify how that went. So if you didn't see the video, this is basically this. So this is the excerpt from that.
Now, the straw that broke Koenig's back and led to Matthias Kirch's firing was apparently a $120,000 ad contract with JayzTwoCents, where we're told that Kirch and Silverstein went behind Koenig's back to source the ad deal because they both wanted it. And Jay has been open about this one.
Steve talked about a brand that's been like 5 months late on a brand that's like 5 figures. Our initial contract was 6 figures.
We don't have a problem with Jay selling an ad. We also sell ads. And actually, as soon as we posted our first content, Jay went way beyond what was necessary in a great way. And he very clearly and publicly stated that he did not want to be paid the remainder of the contract until EK had first taken care of its employees and its staff.
First and foremost, if there is a priority that needs to be had here, the employees need to be paid now. Our invoices and stuff are important, but I'm not demanding right now that we be paid before anyone else. Fortunately, I do not operate my company in a way that if a brand like this doesn't follow through, that it financially causes us problems. No, not in the least. So I can tell you right now that if paying us means an employee doesn't get paid, pay the employee, okay? You're still gonna owe us. That's not going anywhere. Employees need to be paid first.
But EK ignored him. In April, EK paid Jay. Actually, that month sounds familiar.
When the first payment was delayed in April.
Around the same time, EK paid another media.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. So yes, the deal was 120K, but let me break down for you the way that year-long contract was to be paid. It's basically, it was identical from like the year prior, where we were going to receive 3 installments of payments: an upfront payment of 60K, another upfront payment of, or not upfront, but I guess let me roll back here. So we get paid ahead of time. We've had too many brands in the past just stiff us, flake us, make us have to chase down funds and just not try and get away with not paying us. So we basically operate nearly 100% upfront payment before an ad is ever rolled. So when I talked in my video about the fact that we had been running ads since January 1st all the way through the end of April without having seen a single dime of what they were supposed to pay us up front for the first installment, which was 60K, seeing Steve's video made me realize, like, okay, we're probably not going to get paid because nobody's being paid. So the way the deal was supposed to be was 60K up front, then 40K, then 20K for a total of 120K. Now, only 100K of that was actually going to come from EK. 20 of it was going to be through MDF, or Marketing Development Funds, which is where brands like Intel or AMD or Nvidia basically will spend money with brands that they can then spend towards marketing. So that would have been like doing water cooling for AMD's new launch that just happened, right? That would have been like an MDF type of arrangement right there. So 100K was technically owed to us out of EK's direct funds for marketing. So 20 of it is kind of off the table at that point because we didn't even get to that point. Now, through the end of April, we hadn't received a dime yet. And this is where I was basically saying, look, you owe us money, but and technically what they owed us was the first upfront payment of 60K. So when we said, don't pay us, pay your employees, which obviously they didn't do. And there was a lot of discussion too in the comment section of Steve's video saying, well, the money coming from EK Slovenia and the money coming from EK, Cooling Solutions in Texas, they're different entities. That's all very true. But let's not forget, Texas employees weren't being paid either, and neither were their taxes. So they, instead of paying the Slovenian employees, they could have paid the American employees, whatever. Somebody could have gotten paid with the funds. Now, when I made that video, I basically said, look, we're canceling the rest of your contract. We are not running any more ads. We are not going to do any more integrations. We are not going to even show your brand on our channel until we're made whole, which is paying us what you owe us for what we've already run. From that moment of Steve's video going forward, it was ended. We had terminated that portion of the contract. So what I want to explain to you here is that 20K of that immediately dropped off. So they owed us 100K. Well, not owed us, but the contract then would have been 100K. And we basically said, look, we'll cut that in half. We ran enough ads to basically fulfill half of the contract. So you need to owe us, or you need to pay us half of what the first installment was, which was 25K. And what I'm going to show you right here is that is what we were paid. So here is that payment. As you can see, the same date as when Steve showed that, I tweeted, hey, we got paid. There's the 25K payment right there, which was half of the 50K, which was half of EK's portion, if you will. So 25% of their portion of the contract is what we were paid. And there it is right there. So why am I, and it sucks because it actually correlates with his interview with Joe about the fact that employees were still not being paid in April, and yet here we are receiving funds. And it sucks because had I even been like, I talked with Steve about this yesterday. I want to be fully transparent. I talked with Steve for over an hour yesterday after I watched his video about this whole scenario. And I told him, I said, it sucks because had I known that they weren't making people whole, I thought maybe they were just hanging on to funds and being lazy with it. But now we know that they truly just had no funds. I would have been like, refund the payment, send it back or something. But Steve's immediate response was, with the way they were running things, there's no way of even guaranteeing that by sending back or refunding our payment, that it even would have made its way to the employees. It probably would have ended up in someone else's bank account within the higher ups that are just burning through money like money was going out of style. I don't know. So the whole situation just really sucks, but I thought it was important to at least come in here and clarify our payment portion there. Fortunately, we've read through a lot of the comments. I was worried. I'm like, man, I feel like a jerk in this whole situation, but like anything else, we're a business, we operate, we need the funds, and that we make deals with people to say, hey, here's a business transaction. We can't just say, okay, you don't have to pay us. But at the end of the day, like I said in my video, we didn't need that 25K. That 25K didn't make a difference between whether or not we could pay our employees or operate, but it could have made the difference on their end. But who knows if they even would have been responsible enough with that. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because fortunately, we read through a lot of the comments on Reddit on his video and stuff, and I was worried that like, oh great, I look like a freaking villain in this, but I think people are understanding of the fact that we were just lumped in with all their other vendors and such, that they were kind of stiffing. And it seems like people were being pretty open, understanding, and supportive of the whole situation of, how it all went down for everybody, and it stinks. But I just thought it was important to realize, for people to realize, like, look, we didn't receive 120K, like not at all. And had I definitely wouldn't have kept anything beyond what we already ran, because I had already ended the contract. So that would have means that they would have paid us for a contract I had no intentions of fulfilling. So I would not have kept the rest of the funds anyway. So there you go, just a kind of a quick amendment to Steve's video where I wanted you guys to have the details of what actually took place regarding the finances with us. I'm pretty private with the finance stuff. I think it's tacky to talk money, but since this video was a paper trail type of video, it's like it was important for me to at least show in full transparency the way it went down on our end. Anyway, sorry that this is a very low quality video here in my podcast Twitch streaming man cavey room, but that's all I had available to me right now since I am at home, and I wanted to make this video this morning after I had time to sort of process everything I had learned with what went down with EK, and if I even wanted to make this video. So there you go, do with it as you will. Just think of this as an asterisk in the section of Steve's video where we're mentioned in there. And thanks for watching, guys, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.